we're still in a global pandemic. Yeah, we were just talking about how we are in the middle of winter and we're about to embark on a 1 year anniversary of being in a pandemic. I can remember we were at the new school doing these meetings in person. And I think, as Alan said before, um, feels like a lifetime ago, but the life that we had has been changed dramatically. And one of the things that we've tried to do here is to adapt to circumstances. I think that is kind of the ultimate goal of what we're trying to do as public speakers is in the moment when we're on stage talking to strangers, we don't know what's going to happen. These are moments that tend not to be rehearsed. We don't know what to expect. And so for me, what New Voice Live and this exercise has always been about has been trying to adapt to circumstances. And for you new school students who are here, we really appreciate your coming, but you all have had to adapt to some really difficult circumstances. I can't imagine having to go to class on Zoom. I can't imagine having to lose years where I'm supposed to be out having fun with friends in this amazing city called New York, but now having to be at home. And so it's been a challenging year, and we're now in the middle of winter in a pandemic that is hopefully shortly going to be a memory. But right now we're still in it. And so for us, this has been a time that has been not so easy for a lot of us. But I want to assure you all that the tough times pay off, that the hard work eventually reaps rewards. And I feel that way about today. That even though we're in the middle of winter, we've made a lot of progress. It may seem bleak out there, but actually, as far as New Voice Live is concerned, I feel as good about where we're at as I've ever been, even though we're not meeting in person. And the reason is that we have adapted. We've adapted to the circumstances of being online so that now we can broadcast to the world who we are. Instead of being confined to a room at the new school, as great as it was, as fabulous as the new school is, we now have the ability to reach the entire world through the camera. And for me, that's a change that is worth the difficult times. If we hadn't had the pandemic, we wouldn't have been forced to adapt to this new platform. But after a year, close to a year, we now have something we can broadcast to the world. So even though it seems like a really difficult time out there and we're in the middle of a pandemic and it's 20 degrees here in New York and it feels miserable, I actually feel really optimistic about where things are headed. So with that said, I want to welcome you all and tell you all about the great new changes we have here at New Voice Live. From the beginning of the new year, we have now been donation-based. So instead of the actual subscriptions or the memberships that we used to charge as part of Toastmasters, we've decided to change to a donation-based system. So if anybody would like to donate, obviously not obligated to, we're not asking you to, but if you feel generous enough, please feel free to give us a donation. And I think Jorge is the one that's going to be putting the link in the chat. So if anybody wants to donate, please go ahead and do that. We'd really appreciate that. But for those of you who are here as guests, feel free to come be guests. The only thing required to become a member now is just to fill out the profile form for us. And so if anybody's interested in joining us, just let us know and we'll send you that information. But that's the big news, is that we are now fully on board with our New Voice Live digital platform, live streaming to YouTube. So we're going to be here on Fridays for the foreseeable future. Hopefully you guys will come join us. With that said, let me get into our actual show and our curriculum and our speeches. We have, as I've said before, changed it a little bit. So we have one speech tonight, and then we'll have our table topics after that as well. But our speaker tonight is Jeneil, who's a longtime member and New School alumni. So if we can get Jeneil on the screen for us. and then she'll be able to. And I think Jeneil just donated $5. So thank you for that, Jeneil. That's the other part about our new platform. If you donate, you get to see your name and lights for the donation. So we appreciate that. Jeneil, welcome to the show.
Good evening, Henry. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you.
Great to see you.
And so I know that you're a new school alum and that you've been here for quite a while. But on behalf of the students that are out there and all those things, I want to say thank you, and also to express to you how much we appreciate the new school. With that said, also, I want to say that you've been through our curriculum. And again, for you guests out there who are here for the first time, we do have a curriculum of 10 speeches. And you've already gone through your 10 speeches, but you're always welcome to come back and redo your speeches, which is what you're doing today. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Alan lets us donate $100. I'm not sure if I believe that. That might be a glitch. But if he has, Alan, you're amazing. Much appreciated. So anyway, sorry to get back to that. Back to you, Jeneil. So you're going to do your icebreaker speech tonight. Is that right? Or is this the second speech?
It's called second intro because it's my second icebreaker speech.
Okay, great. Well, I'm glad to have you back doing your second speech. And I think we may have a glitch on the donation form because I don't think Alan's continuing to donate $100, but we'll get that fixed. Jeneil, let me get you on the screen for your speech. And while you're doing that, we'll see if we can fix the glitch on the donation page there. But I'll let you take it away for your icebreaker speech. It's 4 minutes in length. And it's your chance to tell us who you are. So I'll let you take it away.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I have awakened this winter as a butterfly. I currently live in my childhood home in northern Michigan with my family. And I spend most of my days in the basement. My dad wanted me to point out it's a finished basement, next to the wood stove. Recently, a butterfly woke from its slumber, from its hibernation, in the wood pile next to the wood stove. There have apparently been reports of butterflies waking up early from hibernation thanks to climate change, unfortunately. Now, every day, I sit working at my desk in the basement and I watch this butterfly looking longingly out the window. We set out some water for it. My brother works in wildlife rehabilitation, so he knows what to do. I really believe that right now we are all like that butterfly. We are all sitting, looking longingly out the window because we can't go outside, waiting for spring. Now, I feel really akin to butterflies. I always have. I grew up in an American military family, and we were stationed in Germany when I was a young child, and I played the role of butterfly in my kindergarten school play. I love doing that. I have also been described as a social butterfly by many of my friends and people over time. I love meeting people from all different walks of life, all different backgrounds. There's nothing I love more than cultural exchange, meeting someone from the other side of the world, learning about our commonalities, learning about our differences, learning about our traditions. It's just amazing to me. When I think of butterflies, I'm also reminded of my mother, who was a very beautiful and playful human being who passed away a few years ago. And this is my first speech since her passing. I have flitted around the world from place to place. In my mid-20s, I moved to New York City and spent 10 years there. I got a degree, Master's of Arts in International Development from the New School. And I have recently landed back in my hometown of Traverse City, Michigan. This year my partner and I decided that rather than set specific intentions and goals, that we would have theme years, which means that you select a theme for your year. And rather than go after a certain goal or go after a certain intention, resolution, and have it kind of fall to the wayside, you have year of food, year of fun, year of camping, year of gumption. I chose year of vision, thinking that through year of vision, I could direct my action towards where I want to be in life. I'm currently watching my life's vision unfold into the spring. And I truly believe that this year we will all be reintroducing ourselves to the world in the coming months. Thank you.
And you know what? The interesting thing is, since you've given this icebreaker before, how would you compare this icebreaker to your very first icebreaker? How did it feel?
This felt more evolved, if that makes sense.
Of course it makes sense. Yes, because you're an evolved person. You're a different
Yeah,
person than you were.
exactly.
I certainly felt the difference. It was one of those things where you feel much more comfortable with who you are, it feels like.
Yes.
And I think a lot of that comfort has come from you being a searcher and a seeker and a journeyer. And I think it's part of what makes us more comfortable with ourselves is having seen a lot and done a lot. I know you've done a lot and seen a lot.
Thank you. And you know, Henry, I wanted to add, and I had meant to add in the speech, going off of all these butterfly metaphors, that this club has really helped me spread my wings.
I love it. And look, that's kind of the point of it. It feels awkward at times. You feel like you don't know who you are and what your voice really should be. But over time, you find that voice. You get to spread your wings, and I think that's why we're all here.
Yes.
Glad to have you. With that said, let's get on to our evaluations. For those of you who are new and guests, we evaluate our speakers. So if you wouldn't mind, we're going to take a couple of minutes to let Jeneil know how we feel about her speech. And Jorge in the chat is going to put a link. And that link will allow you to give Jeneil some feedback. And as I said, we're going to take 2 minutes on the clock and listen to what I believe is some Toto and Africa for Jeneil, her favorite song. So 2 minutes. let's get ourselves back to our show. Once again, thanks to Jeneil for the speech. And now I would like to turn it over to our table topic master. And that's going to be Tiana, also a New School alum. How are you, Tiana?
I'm great. Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday, of course. And the other part about being in a global pandemic when it's 20 degrees outside, the good news is we don't have to venture out. We can be right here in the comfort of our own homes, catching up with each other.
The pandemic was made for an introvert like me.
You and me both. I don't have to leave my couch. I love it. Well, Tiana, you're an old hand at this. Table topics is something that we all do here for our guests to allow everyone to kind of extemporaneously give a speech. So for you tonight, what we asked everybody to do was it was preloaded, which was to ask everyone how they felt about New School and or our New Voice Live and how it's applied to them. So why don't you give the audience a little bit of background on the question, your particular affiliation with New School and all that. And I think I also forgot to mention the word of the day. So if you'll do that for us as well.
Sure. So, um, see, now they're going to be counting the ums that I'm doing. So basically, the topic for today is how has Toastmasters or New Voice Live helped you? And if you're new, what brought you here and what are you hoping to get out of it? And as for my background, I graduated from the New School in 2015. I studied organizational change management. I loved my experience. I don't particularly love having to pay for it now that I have all these student loans, but I love that I had the experience. So the way this is going to go is I will call each person's name. They will come to the stage, meaning turn on their camera and their microphone. And then you will have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to talk about what um, Toastmasters or the New Voice Live has done to help you, or what brought you here and what you're helping to get out of it. And then you will see the timer on the top of your screen. So once your time is almost up, you'll see it blinking red and you'll hear music, and then it's time to go. And then the last thing I want to share is that the word of the day is constraint, meaning a restriction in time or something else. And that's it. Oh, look at Bernie. I cannot see the list yet. Is that coming? Fantastic. All right. So first up, we will have Asantie coming to the stage for table topics. Asantie,
Hi.
are you there? Hi.
Hi, yes, I'm here. Hi, Tiana. Hi, fellow Toastmasters.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
So the topic is, what has New Voice Live done for you?
New Voice Live has incredibly strengthened my confidence, not just in terms of public speaking, but in forming opinions and be able to express myself. I think as a young person, that is incredibly important. And this is such a great resource for myself and other young people at the new school and anywhere to be able to let people know what we think and take action. We're the leaders of tomorrow, as cliche as it sounds, but it's always good to know that we'll be able to have a voice and that we'll be heard. And so New Voice Life has definitely given me that tool to be able to go and venture out and be confident in that. And in terms of being at the new school, I'm really grateful that this resource is here and that I'm doing it at this time. I'm about to graduate and venturing into the depth of adulthood and making my way. And I'm so glad that I could have this skill as a tool to be able to push forward and to be able to pave my way for myself and for other young people with whichever career that I choose. So the New Voice Live is great. It's support, it's love, it's compassion for others, and it's a good time on a Friday night. Thank you.
Great job, Asantie. I wish I would have went to Toastmasters earlier because I listened to some of the young people speak who are like 20 years old, 18 years old. And I'm like, damn, I definitely was not like that in the early years of my life. And I wish I would have had the idea or even the presence of mind to do it at the time.
But you're awesome. I'm sure that you were great even back then. So no worries.
I was definitely very nervous then. But thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, next up we have Maya. Maya, can you turn on your camera and your audio? Hello
Hi,
there.
everybody. Hi.
Hello,
First,
Maya.
I applaud everybody, especially who are new, for putting themselves out there tonight. And I loved Jeneil's speech. I think it's perfect for the new year and welcoming everybody to the club. And I want to reintroduce myself for all the new people in the room. My name is Maya, and I'm originally from the Bay Area in California, but I'm now an undergraduate. And for those that know me, I talk about and recommend Toastmasters all the time. It's crazy to me that I've actually been a part of this club for over 3.5 years now. And I joined as a freshman in college looking for ways to improve on specific skills. But when I entered the room, and this was pre-pandemic, I was really intimidated, just like everybody else. And I was sitting in my seat, listening speech after speech, and I started to realize that if I didn't go up on stage, I never would. So Kaylee, when she asked for the last table topic speaker, I was shaking the entire time and my voice was wavering, but I did it. And I kept going back every single week. And I gained the confidence to join the debate team, competing nationally, other leadership teams, giving speeches in front of crowds. And I know that the table topics question is how the New Voice Toastmasters helps you, but honestly, I can't even express everything in a short speech. And so now Toastmasters is so much more to me than just a skill that's helped me in presentations and interviews and confidence. And I have a long way to go, but I still would not be the speaker I am without them. And everyone here is such an amazing, supportive group. And these are people that exude love into a room or on a screen, and they've become my community here in New York. So I just want to welcome everybody again and hope that you'll keep coming back.
And I'm so jealous of all of the speaking experience you've had at such a young age.
Well, I'm lucky enough to have found Toastmasters and they welcomed me with open arms. So I hope to always do the same.
Great. Thank you for sharing all of your background. Okay, I cannot see the next name for some reason.
It's Tejaswini.
Tejaswini. Welcome to the stage.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well. I'm excited.
I'm glad. So, just as a reminder, the speech is going to be about why you came to Toastmasters and what you'll get out of it, or what Toastmasters has done for you already.
Okay.
And whenever you're ready.
Welcome to the 2021 edition of Toastmasters. I'm going to start with a small story. There was a monk who sowed 2 seeds on either side of the forest. One was the forest seed, and it was pretty quick for the forest seed to come up in the forest really fast. And on the other side, he sowed the bamboo seeds. And bamboo it doesn't come out really fast. So for the first couple of years, he kept on looking at the forest seed, which literally was all over the forest. And on the other side, there was this bamboo tree, which took almost 5 years to come up. But he continued, he was very persistent, and he continued to put water. And after the fifth year, he saw and he was very happy. It just shows that there are 2 different perspectives. One is really fast, one is really slow. So you need to figure out which one is yours. I'm going to steal from Alan and speak about the power of 3 that Alex had mentioned. Let me speak in 3s: attitude, articulation, and attainment, and absolutely no constraint. Toastmasters has helped me fix my attitude on video appearances, helped me articulate my speeches, and attain the attention by delivering the message coherently. Uh, New voice Toastmasters means building confidence. I remember the time when I joined the club. The lockdown had made me extremely underconfident. I'm sure you and I were both underconfident. And I wasn't sure how I could fare a job interview. It was not my best as an international student studying in New York, yet staying in my house in New Jersey. I used table topics as my go to, and I was able to build my confidence and back that dream Zolberg IRC fellowship. New Voice Toastmasters has helped me see the bigger picture. For now, this might just be a public speaking group, but public speaking in itself is an art, as Henry says. Some of the techniques shared by the team have been extremely helpful for me to flaunt my vocabulary, wink, wink, but create ease around my job searching method since I'm graduating this May. New Voice Toastmasters, lastly, has helped me make new connections. I was able to communicate better with people from different backgrounds from mine, make new meaningful conversations and friends who I can really rely on. So I wish you the best, and I hope to see you next week, and the week after, and the week after. Thanks, and take good care of yourself.
That's a fantastic job. Like the way you speak is just so smooth that it seems like you're reading it. And I'm like, she couldn't read it because we just told you what the topic was. But that was fantastic. Excuse me. All right. Coming to the stage. I think it says Jorge, but I can't.
That is right.
Jorge, welcome.
Thank you.
So I forgot to remind people about the word of the day, but it was used anyway. So that's fantastic. So word of the day, as a reminder, is constraint. You ready to go?
Ready?
All right, whenever you're ready.
Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Jorge, and the reason why I'm a New Boys Live member, supporter, fan is because of constraints. I used to have them, I still do, but one of the major ones, I'm overcoming it by participating in these meetings with Toastmasters. At the beginning, I was strict. I was doing research, and some comments said, go to Toastmasters meetings. You won't have to participate. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to. Guess what? The first time I went, I was late. And it taught me two lessons. One, don't be late. And two, I don't know what the other one is. But again, I was there. I got there late. Everyone was sat on their chairs. And I walked in and they were like, would you like to tell us about you? I was like, it's my first meeting. I'm not supposed to do anything. I'm just supposed to sit and watch. Anyway, what Toastmasters had taught me so far is to speak up. Again, I wasn't doing that before. And speaking up, I was able to get a promotion on my job. I was able to find a new job because I was looking for jobs for over a year and I couldn't land one. What else? As Tej said, it has provided me with the opportunity to meet new people, make new connections, and the list goes on and on and on. But anyway, thank you again to Toastmasters. Thank you again to New Voice Live in particular. And back to you, Table Topics Masters.
Great job, Jorge. And you even used the word of the day. Fantastic. And you also have like a smooth conversational way about you when you speak, and I love it. Thank you. Next, we have Abukar.
Hello, good evening.
Hello there.
Okay.
So again, the table topic today is what has Toastmasters or the New Voice done for you, or what did you hope to get out of it? Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, go for it.
Good evening, members and guests. My hope to get out of New Voice Toastmasters is to develop more interpersonal skills. I feel like that helps personally in the professional world, as it's crucial to be able to communicate effectively between your peers and your superiors. That means so it will help you in regards to conflict resolution and when things get out of hand. I would also like to get out of it is to, you know, put myself in more uncomfortable situations. So it will help me, stress myself and be better person. I also like to put that down on my bucket list to make sure I complete all my 10 lessons, 10 speeches in my lessons in the Toastmaster curriculum. Thank you.
Great job. Putting yourself out there is always difficult, but you definitely grow anytime you do it. Thank you and have a good night. Let's see, who do we have next here? Sean. I love hearing from Sean. Hey, Sean. I love your background.
Hello. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go or?
Uh, uh, yes, I am.
Alrighty then, whenever you're ready.
On Tripal, the first ever New Voice meeting that I ever attended was back in 2015, and the first two people that I ever spoke to are actually on this call this evening. Those being Jeneil and Kaylee. And over the over the past few years, I know that our club has gone through a couple iterations since 2015, but our vision has remained the same, and that is to get people a little more comfortable doing a very uncomfortable thing, which is public speaking. And when Henry and Kaylee approached me last year and asked me if I wanted to do something crazy and try to run a public speaking meeting on Zoom, I knew that I was all in, because for the 6 years that I've been part of this uh, amazing team, it's only been full of joy for me. And as a person who stutters, I was able to prove to myself that I can speak on a grand stage. Thank you.
Great job, Sean. I always find your speeches to be so inspirational. My husband has a stutter also, and I wish that he would listen to you speak, but he doesn't. He's not ready. But people will do it when they're ready.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, next up we have Alex. Alex always has a great story to tell, so I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. Well,
And just a reminder that the word of the day is constraint.
yes, I noted that constraint. And I'd like to start by saying that your voice live is utterly broken on constraints. Take heed at what's been happening in the world. And speaking is difficult. It's not the easiest thing to do. Henry often talks about the fear. And I've been thinking about that, the constraint of fear. Is it the fear of other people judging us? No, I think it's the fear of we judging ourselves. How can we put that little guy, Alex, right in the headlights there and say, Alex, this is not the time to be afraid. I understand, Alex, that you're a little bit hesitant right now, but you're among friends. You have something to say. And if you want to say something, go ahead. Loosen the constraints. Be the butterfly that Jeneil was talking about. Be the person that Abubakar or Jorge were talking about. Be the people that are on this call, Alex. You don't have to be afraid. You're looking right at the people and they're looking right back at you. But there's no judgment there. There are no constraints. You only constraints, the only golden handcuffs that you're wearing are the ones that you put on yourself. How can we slip those handcuffs? We can slip them by being a little bit more calm, by practicing a little bit more confidently, by reading books and reading each word by word to practice, not filling it with sounds. So many different ways to practice. We can practice by memorizing poems. We can practice so many ways to break the handcuffs of constraint. Back to you.
Always a pleasure, Alex. I always look forward to hearing you speak. I know you always have something very interesting to say. So thank you for sharing as always. All right, let's see. Alan. Alan, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Tiana?
Excuse me. I'm good. I'm good. I don't think I've met you before, but I look forward to hearing you speak.
Thank you very much. I joined, so I went back when we were during the course of this class and looked at my first email for this class, and it was July of 2015. So I didn't realize this, but I joined around the time that Sean joined. And the thing that I love the most about this club is the immense diverse perspectives that you get from the people that join. I remember, there are classes that were held on the west side of the street in that building. There were ones that were held in the new school, and just the different buildings, the different classrooms. And it's the best thing about this club is, and really the fact that it's in New York City, is that you get people from all walks of life that come and meet. And it's new school students, it's people from different countries, it's people from different backgrounds, it's people that are different ages. And the one thing that keeps me coming back is the just plethora of different perspectives here. There's really no constraint on what people are bringing to the table. I remember conversations with Dulce, Henry, Sean, Kaylee, Jeneil over the course of the past 5 or 6 years, all of which I take out of the meeting, and for the next 2 or 3 hours, you're almost flying high off of the experience of coming to the class. And that's part of the reason why I came back after not being here for a while. But I want to have one quick story. There was a member of the new school, I think about 1.5 years ago, we went to a class. I believe it was his first class or maybe his second. And we were walking after the meeting and we were walking toward the subway, and he seemed a little bit down. He said he wanted to do public speaking more, but he was just worried about what people thought. So I suggested, why don't you just, in a subway car, just announce whatever you want to say, just say to those people. And he didn't want to do it, but he ultimately got up the courage to do it. And I was in there with him. And after he gave that proclamation that he did in front of literally 6 total strangers that weren't even listening, the confidence and the change that I saw in him was so incredible, so unbelievable, that you wouldn't believe it unless you saw it yourself. So the things that this club brings to the table is just incredible. And I'm glad to be back.
I would love if I was on the train and someone just gave an impromptu speech. I love that. I definitely would have supported him.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing. think it says Sabrina. For some reason on my side it's like very like foggy. Welcome Sabrina.
Thank you.
So hopefully you know that the table topic is what has the new voice done for you or what do you hope to get out of it? And whenever you're ready, you can start. Oh, and the word of the day is constraint.
Awesome. Hi, fellow Toastmasters and New Voice Livers. My name is Sabrina. I think I should introduce myself a little bit. As you all saw today, I am a new member and I'm very excited to have joined. I attended 2 or 3 of these sessions this month in the new year. Thanks to Maya, she brought me on and I loved all of them and I love the support here. And I'm so excited to be on this team of amazing people. And for me, one of the biggest strengths and constraints, oddly enough, in my life has been my leadership qualities, which may sound weird that that may be a constraint, but for me, I have always felt like a natural leader. I felt that way since I was 10 years old, running my own birthday parties, planning them weeks in advance, organizing game shows for my friends. Always loved showing my personality to big crowds. However, in high school, I don't think I used my leadership qualities to my advantage. I wasn't the president of a million clubs. I didn't lead any big organizations. I was the captain of my cross country team, and that was really fun, but I didn't get to that until my senior year. And so through joining Toastmasters, I'm starting to discover ways to really use this leadership that I'm seeing in myself to my advantage. And I'm trying to be a part of new teams, as my friend Prim on here will also know. And I think that that is what I want this experience to be for me, is practicing and getting used to using the leadership qualities I know I have to my advantage as I continue my educational career and beyond. So thanks everyone.
Great job, Sabrina.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
a natural leader. I love that.
I try.
I love that. Okay, so Rob is up next. Rob and company.
Hi, everyone. This is my daughter, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
She just lost her tooth this week. Can you see?
Very cute. Are you going to help your dad with his speech? No.
I don't know.
Whenever you're ready, Rob.
So, with Charlie losing her tooth this week, I had this thought this morning. When I was about her age, I was in PE class and we were doing leapfrog in there, and I came crashing down over someone's back and chipped my front tooth really bad. And it wasn't a baby tooth, it was my front tooth. And I had this chipped tooth for, I don't know, maybe 8-10 years. And I was really insecure about it. And later I was able to get it capped, but the insecurity of that just made me constantly aware of it and think about it. And being here, and thinking about the question that you asked, I really was wrapping my head around why I joined this group and what it was that brought me here. And on one side, it was about confidence, but it was really about an insecurity. And the tooth is just one example. And I feel like the public speaking is another, that it's just something that I just don't have the confidence like this little one. But the insecurity about speaking and not feeling that what comes out of my mouth would resonate or has any meaning or value. And what I've got from this group was not a confidence or a sort of cover up for that, but it's a really to be okay with how I am and just speak really authentically. And even if there's a hand waving in front of my camera, that's just the way it is. But what I really got out of this club is not just the public speaking or being okay with that. It's this group and this community and just all the friendships I've made through Toastmasters. And I'm just really grateful to have met all of you and really learn from each of you. So more the people and less of me becoming a better speaker. Thank you.
Great job. I can definitely identify with that because I visited a few different Toastmasters clubs and I thought to myself, this doesn't feel right. These people don't feel right. And so I understand what you're saying about coming here not just for the confidence of the speaking, but for the support that you get from the people.
Hopefully we didn't lose Tiana. Tiana, are you there?
Uh-oh.
Well, we may have lost her. So Kaylee, if you put me on, I think we've just got a couple more to go. Hopefully Tiana will be able to come back and join us. There we go. So hopefully Tiana will be back, but let's finish out the last two table topics for the
And I
evening.
definitely feel that too.
Oh, there we go.
So thanks for sharing.
Are you back, Tiana? Maybe. If not, she'll catch us on the other side. So let's see if we can get Pramila, if I'm pronouncing that right. Is that the way you pronounce it, Pramila?
Yes, it's Pramila.
Pramila, welcome. And I know that you're a guest, and there's no affiliation in New School. Is that correct?
Oh, no, I'm a new school student.
You are a New School student. Terrific. Well, we'd love to have you come join us as a regular member. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourself. We really want to hear about your story. So tell us what you hope to get out of us.
Of course. Thank you for having me. So my name is Jeneil, and fun little story about me. When I was a kid, I was told that I was very shy, like apparently extremely shy. I used to hide behind my mother when other preschool kids would come up to me. So much so that even when I was in kindergarten, despite being bilingual, I knew how to speak Bengali and English, I never spoke. So they assumed I didn't speak English and put me in ESL instead, right? They just assumed I didn't know English. And I was like, that's a weird memory to just kind of dig up. So I don't know how to feel about that. But the next few years kind of cultivated in me trying to challenge myself, and I was very good at being very independent. I am an only child, so I do know how to work well by myself. And the way that also cultivated for me was my love of reading and my love of writing. And I essentially figured out the power of storytelling and the power of stories in the written word. But as time went on and the years progressed, my dad got involved in Toastmasters as well just recently, and I started realizing the power of speaking and telling the stories, because it's not just about what's physically on a page, it's how you tell a story that truly resonates with a person. So So if I want to come full circle and be a writer, as I hope to be one day in my career, I have to learn how to speak as well. So I just hope Toastmasters can help me out in that regard to fully becoming a full-out storyteller.
Noah, you are already a fantastic storyteller. That was amazing. Well, we'd love to have you come tell us more stories. One, because as you rightly pointed out, this is a way to express yourself. It is one of the most important, valuable skills we have. But I'm guessing you got a lot of fun stories in you as well. So I can't wait to hear those. Thanks for coming. Okay, I think we have one last speaker of the evening. And if Tiana's not here, I'll continue on. And Vish is our last speaker for the evening. Hello,
I'm here,
Vish.
but
So after our table topic speakers of the evening, I'm pretty sure you know what the question is and the word of the day as well, which is constraint. But we'd love to hear your table topics for the evening. Tell us why you were here and what you hope to get out of us.
First of all, thank you so much. This is like, everyone, beautifully spoke everything, expressed themselves very beautifully. Some even shared beautiful stories. Throughout my life, whatever I have experienced, whatever experiences I've gone through, I'm always been an introvert. But yes, I do have some communication skills. But whenever the time had come, whenever the opportunity had come, I couldn't speak enough. But when it was not the platform around, I used to be at my best. So because of that, I always had I worked on this would have been better. And Asantie mentioned that had she had Toastmasters earlier, I I had missed all the opportunities in my school, colleges, to be there. I don't know why I used to hold myself back. I don't know for which reason. And every time, whenever I take that effort, every moment I take that effort, those past experiences are haunting me every day. So I just want to take that step ahead and get over all this. So just I just want to overcome uh, overcome my overcome my fear, overcome my nervousness. I don't know what it is known as, because I'm feeling very heavy inside right now. I'm feeling very heavy. I don't know how to express it. So these things are I'm a lot of things are going inside me right now. So I thought that this only a platform like this will be able to help me through this, because everyone has gone through the stage which I am right now. So I want to going forward, whatever opportunities or chances come in front of me, I don't want to miss anymore. And I don't want to regret anymore. So that constraints I had in my life, so I just want to overcome that.
Wow, truly wow. That was amazing. And you this was destiny calling. You hit the right place. If you're feeling heavy, if you're feeling like there's all kinds of feelings of regret and remorse and all those things that you wish you could have done, this is the place to figure out how to get past those regrets. Because all those regrets, I guarantee you, as you just noted, as you just said, were for things that you wish you had done, the risks you wish you had taken. And this is nothing more than taking risks every time we're on. We try to create as big a stage to create the feeling of the biggest risk. So I guarantee you, if you keep coming back, the weight that you're feeling will be lifted. And I speak from experience. I speak for myself as well. So I'm glad you came. Look forward to having you back. Amazing speech. Thanks for coming. Tiana is back in comments, but if she's not, I'll continue on then with our votes for best table topic, as well as some feedback for Tiana as well.
I'm here.
Okay, Tiana, good to have you. I think we lost you just for a moment.
Yeah, my internet decided it didn't want me to do table topics tonight.
Welcome to technology problems. Yes.
So now I'm on my phone, so I can't really see everything as well.
Well, you went through all 10 of the table topics, so I took care of the last 2 alternates. So you did a fantastic job. Great job.
Thank you.
On
But
being
I
table
did
topic
see
master.
I did see in the comments that somebody, I think it was Alex or Alan or something like that. I just saw it real quick that somebody wanted to speak.
Did we miss somebody else that wanted to speak?
Yeah, he said he didn't sign up, but he wanted to speak if we have time.
Who can you say the name again?
I don't know who it was.
Henry?
Yes.
I can't.
Anthony was
Okay.
also asking to speak, but all the spots were filled. So I don't know if we have time.
Gotcha. I don't know that we'll have time for those additional speakers, in all honesty. Hopefully we can get you guys to come back next week and speak. What I do think we want to do is to try to wrap up here so that we have time for our masterclass afterwards as well. So unfortunately, we may not have time. So as I said, let's see if we can't wrap up our table topics then. Jorge, would you mind in the chat putting in the link for our vote for best table topics, and also to give Tiana some feedback in her role as table topic master? Great job, Tiana, much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Folks are doing that, we'll end our show with our roles and reports. So let's get Amy on the screen for us, and she's going to give us her grammarian report for the evening. Amy, would you be there for us? Amy, can you hear us?
Yes. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, great. Let me just get my tab form. I was just about to start making my donation. I didn't know I'd go first. So thanks. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Amazing stories. And I have to apologize if I missed anything, because I often would get so caught up in content, because just really great, inspiring stories tonight. And I just want to start off with, whatever anybody's tabs are, don't get self-conscious about it, because even though I listen to a lot of TED Talks, I could do quite a filled up tabulation sheet on a lot of the really amazing TED Talks that I listen to. So we're all in good company. Anyway, starting off with Jeneil. I didn't notice any, but see, and you should be keeping tabs on me today, but I didn't notice any of those. So Jeneil, good work. I think she might have had to cut out early. Asantie, super inspiring story, as were they all. I only heard 2 so's. And Maya, I believe you also had 2 so's, but I started accidentally erasing some of the squares in here. So my apologies for that. Tejaswini, 5 ums or uhs, 2 so's, and 1 you know. And girl, you knocked it out with the word of the day. Yay. Jorge, smooth, 2 likes, and the word of the day. Go for it. Abubakar, 2 ums or uhs, 1 you know, and 1 like. Sean, smooth going, Mr. Sean. Alex, 1 you know. Alan, 2 ums or uhs. Sabrina, didn't notice any. Rob, 2 ums or uhs. Pram, 3 ums or ahs, 1 so, 1 like. And Vish, congratulations, welcome. Super strong way for us to end the day. 2 so's, 5, a little, maybe 1 over 5 you knows, and also word of the day. I think that was even twice in there at the end. I also just wanted to share that for some of these, when so is in there, it almost might seem as if it is part of the sentence. So I want to get clarification before I'm counting words again next time. If it seems like part of a sentence. So many apologies. There we go.
Yeah, thank you for that, Amy. And as our chief supporter, D, is fond of pointing out, you're right. When so's are used as part of the sentence, it's not really a problem for us. It's really what we call filler words that we're looking for, the ahs, ums, and so's that fill up the dead space. So for those of us who use those so's like I do, many of them aren't part of the grammarian account. So appreciate you pointing that out. And
I
we're
think
looking.
that was my mistake. So many apologies for that.
No worries. And looks like we're having some technical glitches as well. So we don't have the grammarian report up there. Hopefully we have the timer report though. And we'll get that on screen for us. That's going to be Trey. Trey, why don't you give us some times? I think you may be on mute, Trey. Nope, we still have you on mute. Ah, the technical glitches, 2021. Well, as Trey tries to get his audio working, why don't I run down the list? And Trey, if you get the audio, just shout out to us. For our speech tonight, we have Jeneil at 3:55. And by the way, let me take this moment since we have students and guests here. The grammarian and the timer report. The grammarian and the timer reports are both meant to be things that keep track of our unconscious glitches, things that we do that we may not necessarily know we're doing while we do them. That's the filler words, the ahs and ums, but also the timer. When we start speaking, we lose track of how long we've been speaking. So the timer is meant to help us remember how long we've been speaking and to keep an internal clock going. So for Jeneil, who our clock was for 4 minutes for her speech, was right on time. So big kudos to her for reaching the right time. For our table topics, those were all 2 minutes, and Asantie was at 1:35. Maya was 2 minutes 10. Tejaswini was 2 minutes 50. Jorge 2:05, right on time. Abubakar 1 minute. Sean 2:05, right on time. Alex 2 minutes, right on time. Alan 2 minutes 40 seconds. Although I love the story, so don't mind you going over at all. Sabrina 2 minutes flat, right on time. Rob 2 minutes 30. Pramila 1 minute 45, and Vish was 2:15. So those were our times for the evening. Hopefully we still have Trey on the line. Hopefully the audio will get fixed there shortly. But with that said, let's close out tonight's meeting with our final wrap up, and that's going to be for Masterclass. We've had some technical glitches here along the way, but ultimately it was a pretty clean show. I'm glad you guys were all able to come. And as I said, I'm very optimistic about where things stand with us, looking forward to the things that we have to come, primarily because of the platform that we've created, which, as you know, if you were here last week, Kaylee has been running. So for this week and last week, I really had my hands free. And it's a big part of growing where we're at, because what we really want to do is to extend this to other people as well, to get other people behind the scenes to run the show. So if anybody has an interest, let us know about whether you want to help run the show behind the scenes, be part of our leadership team. But the real important part for me is that because my hands are free, I finally get to do something I've been looking forward to for a very long time. And that's to start focusing on master class. The idea from master class is really to take a deep dive into speaking. And really what that means is to a deep dive into this anxiety and fear around public speaking. You know, I think we heard a couple people talk about different clubs that they've been to and how it didn't quite feel right to them. There's a reason why those other clubs don't quite feel right. And the reason why is that you get a lot of folks who are pretending not to be afraid. it's an act, a cover up. And so they'll rehearse, they'll practice, they'll write out their speeches until they've memorized every word, and then they'll say it over and over and over in front of a mirror till they feel comfortable with it. But by the time they get there and then they give the speech, it feels completely unnatural. And that's oftentimes the feelings you get at these other clubs. For us, the difference is we tackle the idea that this is terrifying head on. And that's what Masterclass is meant to be. Masterclass is meant to understand why this is so terrifying. What is the underlying fear of speaking to strangers? And that's what we're going to get into in Masterclass after the show tonight. So if anybody's interested in sticking around for that, as I said, it's been a long time in coming. I hope you'll stick around. We're going to do not only Masterclass, but also hopefully to a place in time where we're going to get to after hours. But for now, we're going to suspend after hours until we get Masterclass going and then bring after hours back. So for those of you who are interested in membership, in catching up with others, please let us know in the chat. We'll get you that information and then hopefully get after hours and all that stuff going on here shortly. But for now, this episode is going to be focused on Masterclass. All right, with that said, let's wrap this thing up. We're going to do our typical end credits. And last week we showed a montage that Kaylee had put together. It's an amazing montage, so I thought we'd show it one more time. And then we'll do Masterclass afterwards for us. So if you want to stick around, please stick around. Otherwise, that's going to be it for another show. We'll see you guys in 7 days next Friday. Thanks for coming.